Hello, Mr. Luke Champion again. And I don't know, I know others have said don't reply to him, but you make me a bit of money, mate, every time you reply. And every time I do this, makes me a bit more money. But your latest one to full power is moving under its own steam. I think it was labelled Greta Thunberg would be happy or something like that it was. But you decided you wanted to comment after having a go last time, but yet you won't reply to me. It's funny that. But you decided to put, you need to sort the fumes out. All you're doing is getting a vehicle to pollute the air with. It's a heap your bus. I wouldn't want it if it was mine. Well, it's a good job it's not yours, isn't it? And it shows how much you actually know. I think you're one of these bus enthusiasts that sit on the armchair or sit at the back of the bus telling the bus drivers what they need to do, like you actually know the job. And you'll be one of these that will speculate if a bus breaks down, why it broke down, and you'll go off on a tangent, and you're boring as hell. And I really don't do these, but last one made me a couple of quid, so you're having it again. Now, your last one I addressed, and I addressed it again when I actually put the comment in yesterday, and I bet you won't reply to it. Just like you didn't actually reply to your own video. Funny that, innit, when you called out. But I don't know if you've ever owned a vehicle or tried running a vehicle that's not ran for 6 months, but it will smoke. And considering it's been being ran without a turbo, which means it's not been having the required air amount it needs to fire properly, and then we attach the turbo and then we fire it up and it smokes. Well, it's funny how then, if you actually watch the end of the video, the smoke's starting to go away. Now, little lesson here in a diesel engine for you, mate. When they're cold, they smoke. It's an old engine. When it gets warm, the smoke will start to disappear. You have this thing called condensation. Now, the other thing you've got to remember is although the block has ran without the turbo in it, it won't have got warm because we was only running it for short periods of time. We're now on this video, it had been run for an hour, 2 hours, and then driven about. That has given the engine a chance to get hot. In the 6 months it's been not doing anything because it's been waiting a fuel pump. It's had a chance to have condensation form inside the block and on the block, in the exhaust, in the pipes, anywhere where condensation can form. And the other thing you've got to remember is this bus has held coolant. That coolant will turn to condensation into some sort of extent. So a lot of the smoke you'll see is condensation being burnt off, or diesel not fully being burnt because there's still a little air pocket in it. Because when this vehicle started, it doesn't have the required fuel in it. It has to bleed the system out, which means it's either going to overfuel because it's flooded a cylinder because there's enough in that but not in the others, or it's not had enough diesel in it and it's got too much air in it, therefore misfiring, again causing smoke. When you're trying to get an engine to run, smoke is a good thing because you know you've got compression, you've got, depending on the colour of the smoke, you've got fuel. So I don't get what your point is here, because as you've seen it's cleared up. I've been to it several times after that and it does what it used to do. Smokes when cold. Once it's got warm or got a bit of temperature in it, the smoke goes away. It's a Euro 2 engine back from 1998. Have you not seen the videos of 1998 buses running round in them days? They smoked. It's part of having a Euro 2 compliant vehicle. Yes, there's vehicles that don't smoke, but you'll find that they'll all smoke in some stuff. They'll all put out fumes. smoke is nothing. It's the fumes below the smoke that you want to worry about. And considering it's smoking no more than it did on its last MOT test, and it passed the MOT test that the emissions was below the legal limits, then what's the problem? And the point will be proven when we take the test again in the next couple of weeks, month to a week, and it'll pass again. So the emissions can't be that bad, can they? And some of the older engines put out even more pollution. Some of the ones that aren't even tested, that are over 40 years old. So if you think you can come fix it, mate, and get it not to smoke at all, come, help sort it out. I don't have a problem with you coming to help sort it out. But here's the thing, mate. You got posted on my Facebook page and Twitter. You're not very well liked, are you? And that's how I got my armchair expert from you, because that's what a lot of people think, and it's what a lot of feedback I got from people about you. So maybe if you are this expert, come out the shadows and come help. Get involved in bus preservation and buy your own, and then you'll see it's not a load of roses, it's not easy, and it ain't simple. That's all anyway. But Challenger, come on, reply to this. Go for it, Mr. Expert. Look forward to hearing your reply.